Quick video. Greetings, everybody. This is for for the cancers, the female cancers that are thinking about childbirth, having babies and whatnot. Man, I've been doing some research. I just wanted to give you a message. If you're a cancer female, you don't have no business up in the hospitals having babies at all. And that's really all I wanted to say. I really just wanted to keep it like that. Like, you just have no business up in the hospital. And, I've been doing some research. Okay. So, a lot has been going on in my life, you know what I'm saying, with the people that I have in my life. And I've seen things, and I've just been on a quest recently, and I've been getting answers to my quest, you know what I'm saying, and I come to the conclusion, okay, jump mastery. This is something that I talk about. This is a little message I like to put out in public. Jump mastery is all about having questions. You have to seek for answers to you have to seek for answers to a quest, okay, and the path will be revealed to you. So most recent, what I wanted to know was who I was from the past in the current narrative that I'm playing out. Because I'm listening to different people, and people seem to know, some of these jump masters seem to know who they are in this narrative, right? So, that was something I wanted to know. And if you've ever read Celestine Prophecy, it talks about that and it gives evidence of that. You know what I'm saying? So get that book and read it. But it lets you know that when you have a question, a central question in your mind, you are brought to the path, or you're brought to the answers, or the answers are revealed to you. I call this magnet synastry, how this kind of this happens. It's almost like this the science of intentions and the science of electricity and magnetism all intertwined. It's through that question, that thought, and it just makes everything unfold. This is why success is guaranteed if your eye be single, and there's so many ways you could look at that, but just literally, if your eye be single on, let's say getting rich, right? And then you come up with an idea and you stay on how can you get rich within that idea. It may appear dismal that that idea has died, the market has died, but if your eye stays single on the quest of how can I, you know what I'm saying, then the answer is going to be revealed how you can. And the changes that you may make may seem to be in alignment or associated with that central quest, though it may be some deviation. It may seem to you to be still single, focused or whatever. But I just come to realize, like, as I'm reading up on some of these the African mythology and the different deities, this is when I realized who I was, kind of from a past perspective. I would represent, I think, Ishu, the trickster god of opportunity, communication, and instant messaging. And as I'm reading up on it, I realized that my Wiz, she is Yemaya, you know what I'm saying? And when I realized what the unfortunate experiences we had in the hospital, and how, Yemaya was married to Olorun. You feel me? Olorun, his father, or no, she was married to Obatala. And Obatala, his father was Olorun, the sky god. You feel me? And Olorun, his you know what I'm saying, when he needs some consult, he has to go to one of the trickster gods. So the trickster gods, from my comprehension, would represent the air signs of the modern day astrology that you know today. And coincidentally, as I'm doing this research, it just really solidified for me something I told my Christian brother many, many years ago after church, which was like, we need to get back to just African roots, right? Our African roots. And I didn't know why I said that, but because I'm Ishu, that I have that the ability to tap in with the gods, you feel me, and to give great advice and not necessarily know why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, like when I changed my name to Skylar, that to me I have a connection with that Olorun as the sky god. And this whole thing with Yemaya and the Queen Mother and whatnot. When I created her character in the Gigabyte anthology or narrative, right, I made her levitate. Well, as I'm reading up on Yemaya, and by the way, my Wiz, you know, she's a July baby. That's a 7. And I've always felt like she's a Cancer. And so I've always felt like, man, she is built for childbirthing, right? Like she's built for that. And so I'm reading up on Yemaya, and it's like, okay, Yemaya is the mother of the water and childbirth. What is a Cancer? It's a water sign. Mother, boom. And she has some affinity, or the number 7 is special in her life. Okay, when is a Cancer? July. In this case, July, which is the 7th month. You see what I'm getting at? And what else did it say? You know, Obatala, you know, when he fell from grace, you know what I'm saying? He was a drunkard for a minute, and his dad gave him great responsibility, and he failed in that task initially, so he was demoted, and his task was to you know, do something that I guess wasn't a great delegation, and that was to take care of people, to build people, right? And so what is it that I do as a social artist or social design? What does that really entail? That's all about really developing people. So I think when I met my Wiz, that she was resonating with sort of my quest and my mission. You see what I'm saying? So like energetically, this was the quest I was on. So here I am bumping up to her, because really she's supposed to be with the Obatala figure. Because when he made his transition, it was all about purity. You feel me? Like he became all about purity. So this is how he became, you know, he wear white cloth and things of this nature. And he was some other things. And I was like, okay, you know, this is what she most needs. You feel me? Like, you know, when she drinks, you know, she goes overboard with it. And so I'm like, man, in a past life, if you was married to Obatala, this would indicate why you drink the way you do, because he was a drunkard. And you know how you can see this in our reality now. Like the mate or the person you get with, you start to take on their habits and they take on your habits. Like I'm picking up her habits I didn't even have. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get angry, upset, I start yelling the way she yell. I didn't even bring that type of sensibility to the relationship. It's like, damn. So it's real like that. So, you know, I know this is really hard for people to even like get in this particular dimension, how everything can be so intertangled, you know. Like some of y'all might think I'm talking crazy, like, but nah, man, I see this. I'm like, oh, this is a snap. See, like even when I pressed on issue, I was like, why am I pressing on this button? I don't even like the way this is spelled, like E-C, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man, I would have been more attracted to something else on that list, but that was the first one that I was driven to touch. And then when I read it, I was like, man, I really resonate with what this is saying. So in any case, what I wanted to tell the Cancer females is like, don't go up in these hospitals. The Queen Mother, she needs some healing. Also, Yemaya, she's a Native American, man. She's real dark. She's not African to that. She is African, but she's not to the degree that we would typically. She's what we would identify as one of them Aztec type people. You know, she got the gray, tons of gray in her hair. She's had it since she was young. You feel me? She's the Maya figure. And so here we is, Yemaya. So you start to see these connections, and she needs some healing. She needs some purification work, right? So in a sense, I got into my Obatala mind frame, right? And then I realized what would heal her, you feel me, is having a baby by natural childbirth. But when we went up in the hospital, they fucking violated us, man. And I'm not going to get into the whole shit, right? Because it's cool. I control that. I'm going to go ahead and deal with that and squash that. It ain't going to be nothing but something that needs to be refined. It's something I'm going to work on as the Olorun figure that I am. You feel me? But I realized, they did the C-section on her. She didn't need to have a C-section. This woman is built for childbirth. You feel me? But when they did the epidural, and that was at the 8th hour. This is where we make the mistakes, and this is the law of 44, I think, playing in. But at the 8th hour, we decided to do the epidural. They did the epidural, and then it started giving my child complications. Now, they didn't explain it. It was the epidural that was actually doing that. I had to go to Arkansas and talk to a lady who was had been in the game for like 42 years as a doula. And she explained to me that the hospital knew it was that damn epidural that did that shit to my... And so then here come the doctor talking about, oh, well, he having some complications with his heart, so we want to do a C-section. That bitch already knew it was the epidural that was doing that. You feel me? But she didn't say nothing because they getting paid extra money to do them C-sections. And so the Queen Mother is carrying this baggage from having the C-section. And then we had some other shit happen, that it's personal. I won't get into it. But as I'm sitting here contemplating, I'm like, damn, what the Queen Mother most needs, because this is her domain, for her purification process, trust family, I know what I'm talking. She need to have a natural childbirth. So what I'm telling all you black mothers especially, because they love to take advantage of anybody they think is beneath them or just ignorant or stupid. Now, you might not think that you beneath them or ignorant or stupid, but hey, I peep game on this. They gonna think you, especially if they white or so-called, they not actually white. This concept comes from the purity. White is see what this country did, like as I'm learning the mythology, what you discover is that Catholicism and Christianity stole a lot of concepts from Africa. I learned that, matter of fact, by studying the Meta Netter. That a lot of these concepts that you get in Christianity, that's why I don't blaspheme Christianity, because as I'm learning more, I'm going, shit, this is our concepts. Some of the information is actually perverted, though. And you can identify that once you start reading and studying. If you purified your mind before you start reading the Bible, you'll see the stuff in the Bible that's real perverted. But it's a lot of good, and a lot of that stuff comes from the African mythos. You feel me? And they stole it because they building a country. When you build a country and you're talking about social design, you have to give people, you have to give them education. You give them rituals. You give them social design, lifestyle supply. You give them their whole concept of their existence. And so a lot of that comes through the religion. And the religions of Catholicism have stolen and modified concepts that they get from Africa. That's why back in the day, now it's all coming 360 for me, because that was 10 or more years ago. I told my brother, we just need to get back to our stuff, because obviously this country is very confused about a lot of different things. And if you're coming out of slavery, why would you want to take something from your slave holders that they gave you, which is Christianity and Catholicism? So to me, even back then, I didn't have to understand what I know now. I just knew on a very basic plane, like, why would you not seek out more when you know this is what you come from, right? So all black folks at this point should be on a quest to improve their truth. All of us, period. And the answers will be revealed to you. But, yeah, it's clear to me that, you look at the doll test. The doll test shows us how, that young children think that the white doll is prettier than the black doll. So that this perversion of mind is going on in the children and is carrying into the adults, myself and you included. So the reverse of that, the reverse effect on so-called white people, Caucasians, because after we rebuild a new country, they're not going to be called white people. That was a brand name that was given to them, and they don't deserve that name because it denotes, in the spiritual realm, it denotes purity. Why would you let them take the Obatala? You see what Obatala represented was white. He represented purity. You see what I'm saying? The Moors were called white people at one point because they wore a lot of white. They understood these concepts, this purity. So now we're getting the information, us downloading. Now we understand. I'm not black because I don't lack anything. You're not white because you're not pure. That does not necessarily denote you as a general populace or whatever, right? But so the reverse works for them. If black people think that they less than or ugly, then the white people think that they prettier than and better than. So this is something that's going to be in the child at a young age and into the adults the same way. It's yin and yang, okay? So don't go up in them hospitals because they going like they did us. If they think they can get away with tricking your ass and having you have a C-section and you're a cancer female specifically, that shit ain't gonna set right with you if you don't have that baby come through you naturally through your womb. So I'm so grateful to give you this message, and I want to cap it off by saying don't take your ass in the motherfucking hospitals. Giga speed. Love you.